Why do women need work boots that are designed specifically for a woman's foot and not just wear a men's boot? Hey guys, it's Ken here and I'm the podiatrist from Dr. Pods and Ergonx. And today we're going to ask the question, why do women need a specific work boot designed for them? And it all comes back to just the fit of the work boot. So we know if we get the fit of the work boot right, it means it's more comfortable on the foot and you'll get less problems like just blisters and aching and rubbing on the boot. So they'll be more comfortable. The other thing it does is if we get the fit of the boot right, it means that the mechanical features of the work boot will line up with the foot. So your foot will ache less and it'll work less across the workday. So we've got this lovely little woman's boot here. Now, the difference between this Ergonx Helium work boot and our regular men's version is the fit. So in general, a woman's foot, in general of course, has a narrower heel than a man's foot. And it also, in proportion, has a wider forefoot and longer toes. So they're of course generalizations, but this is what most of the women, why they have problems fitting into men's work boots. So in a work boot, what we need to do is make them on a different last. And a last is just a fancy word for the model that we use to make this boot on. So we make the outsole, put the last on, and then attach the upper. So the measurements that we use for this upper and the widths and everything in the sole are based on a woman's last, which is more like a D fitting. Now, of course, there's women with E-fitting boots, but they'll fit a men's boot better. So it's made on a narrower heel. It's got a broader forefoot relative to the heel. It still has all the depth and width considerations of the men's work boots, because we just find that when we have a work boot that's wider and deeper, it will actually just make it more comfortable. Now, the reason why we use a D fitting and not a traditional women's B fitting is because at the end of the day your feet will swell, so we need to have a little bit more room in the boot for the swelling. Generally, workers like to wear a bit of a thicker sock, so it pads up and makes the boot more comfortable, makes it a bit more of a custom fit. So we go on that D last, so that's the women's last. So the men's lasting would typically be a 2E or a 4E, so much wider in the heel, much broader in the forefoot. So the main reason is just so it accommodates the women's foot a little bit better. The women generally have narrow heels, a broader forefoot relative to the heel width, slightly longer toes. They're a little bit more flexible because of the hormonal influence on the muscles, joints and ligaments. So they will really benefit from the arch support that helps to raise up the arch and limit how much that arch collapses across the workday. So if you're having trouble fitting in a man's work boot and you'd like to try a women's work boot, get over to ergonx.com.au and check out the Ergonx Helium in the women's style, and that's in the D